On that chapter, Mike O covers the case of a woman who documented her own secret. Not accidentally leaked it or had it discovered in a diary. She documented it herself on TikTok. She seemed to forget that she always had a camera running. Now, what Mike does with this case is worth noting because his presentation style is very specific and very effective. Quiet and understated. He builds dread out of ordinary details, the way a good novelist does. By the time you realize where it's going, you're already there. The case itself involves footage that essentially made the investigation considerably easier than it might have been otherwise. A cautionary tale of why you should probably be more aware of what's in the background of your videos. On KallMeKris, Chris takes her signature comedic presentation style and points it directly at true crime, which is either a bold, creative decision or a completely natural evolution, depending on how long you've been watching her channel. Probably both. What she does that is genuinely worth paying attention to is she brings an entirely different audience into this space. Viewers who would never typically click on a true crime documentary are clicking on Chris. And once they are in, they stick around. The presentation is irreverent. The research underneath is more solid than the format might suggest. And the comment sections are full of people saying things like, "I had no idea this case even existed," which is exactly the point. True crime stories don't always have to be delivered in a dark room with a serious voice. Sometimes it arrives wearing a hoodie and making you laugh before you even realize that you're totally hooked. Chris has figured it out. Her loyal audience is significantly better informed because of it. Crime 101. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, Halle Berry, and Monica Barbaro, all together in the same film, directed by Barry Layton, whose documentary, The Imposter, one of the most unsettling films of the last 20 years, the jewel heist thriller set along the Pacific Coast Highway and based on a Don Winslow novella, a seasoned thief with one last score, and an LAPD detective who has a completely different plan for how the whole thing ends. The early word on this film is that it's consistent, grounded, tense, and made by people who clearly understand that a great crime story does not have to blow everything up. It just needs to be airtight. Crime 101 has an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and is in theaters now. Links to all the stories that are accessible online are in the description. Subscribe to It's About Damn Crime to see more curated true crime stories that you might miss. And if you know a good crime story or channel, share it with us. See you next week for more true crime stories and where to find them.